Hi Cancer, thank you for joining me. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD and I'm here to do your January reading. Now, I want to thank you for your repeat offenders. Thank you for stopping by again, putting up with my shenanigans. And for the rest of you newbies or people that are just curious or my haters, either way, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. And so without further ado, Cancer. What do we have for the month of January? What's in store for the month of January, please? Show me now. No need to fear. We got that in our last reading for Pisces. So I feel like there is a need to get grounded. You could be having a lot of bird messages coming towards you, giving you spiritual messages. You could be actually be undergoing an awakening and wanting to stay in a state of slumber. I say that respectfully, but when that happened to me, it looked like this. I was having dreams. In one particular dream, I was sitting in this really large old car that in my day we would call a La Bamba Mobile. And there was a nurse sitting next to me. And the nurse said, okay, you got to remember, Griselle. And I'm like, yeah, I'll remember. And I was looking ahead at the traffic and she's like, you need to remember this. I'm telling you something you need to remember. And I'm like, yeah, I'll remember. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, no. And she kind of grabbed my wrist and I turned to look at her and she's like, remember, okay? Like basically I was always saying I would remember the message and I wasn't taking it to heart. It was more comfortable to sleep. So it could be something as dramatic as that, or as simple as when you go outside and you're like looking at birds or little insects, geckos that show up in your home, whatever. Those have little special messages to you in particular, and you tend to just kind of like, oh wow, that's really powerful, and then forget it in the next instant. No judgment, I'm right there with you. But I feel like some of you guys need to remember how powerful you are. There's a reason why they're bringing you in particular these messages. Now, all these flipped while I was shuffling. I had no intention on doing that. And Cancer, Spirit knows better. So I'm going to go ahead and take them in the order that they came out. This is a stack that came out for you, so we'll leave that there. It says, forget who you are, conditioning falls away, memory no longer defines you. What the heck? And so we're just talking about memory and how that nurse kept saying, remember. Excuse me. Remember. So forget who you are, conditioning falls away. So all the things that we've been molded into, like how to be a good girl, a good guy, how to be a gentleman, how to, be a good provider, how to, those are not bad things in themselves, but conditioning falls away, memory no longer defines you. I actually kind of want to read the book on this because that is just such a interesting one to come out. And of course, I'm looking at the number 41. And so that would be vibration number 5. You could be undergoing a lot of changes, Cancer, at this point in time. Definitely a lot of changes. And I feel like even a burning away. Look at behind Alice. There's a lot of red, like a beautiful sunrise, sunset, or a big forest fire. I don't know which yet, okay? So what do you call yourself? The fawn said at last. Such a soft, sweet voice it had. I wish I knew, thought poor Alice. She answered rather sadly, nothing, just now. Think again, it said. That won't do. Alice thought, but nothing came out of it. Please, would you tell me what you call yourself? She said timidly. I think that might help a little. I'll tell you if you'll come a little further on, the fawn said. I can't remember here. So they walked out together throughout the woods, Alice with her arms clasped lovingly around the soft neck of the fawn, till they came out into another open field. It says, you are amidst new experiences, one in which you have no idea who you are anymore. Paradoxically, this apparent loss of self is a beautiful gift. The loss of memory of the self, the absence of conditioning that defines us, means we can approach new people and situations with innocence and freshness. This is an opportunity to connect with the heart. So it is with Alice when she enters the looking glass forest with magic powers. All who enter forget who they are, thus not knowing He ought to be frightened of a human. A fawn approaches Alice. She responds with incredible fondness for the fawn, and they meet with simple affection, connection, and friendship. And when we forget what we have been taught to fear or hate, it brings this opportunity for a whole series of beautiful friendships to blossom. This is the situation you find yourself now. Forget all that you tell yourself you are. Forget what others have said you are. Forget the enemies, the avoidance, the fear we live with far too often. Forget who you have been taught to be. Instead, reawaken to the innocence of the soul and know thyself. Accept the mystery now. With the open space within the forest, where we all return into our ancient, most natural self, we can all be one again. That is very cool. That makes sense now. So take it how you will. If it fits, please. Just a lot of changes. Perhaps you're looking at people differently. Perhaps you're embracing new thoughts, new concepts, new ideas that you never would have thought you would embrace before. I heard for some of you guys, no need to speak on this to friends and family, as they won't understand your part of the journey this moment. Mortality, life is brief, bright, beautiful, and yours to ride. So it could be that you are dealing with thoughts of mortality, especially with what's going on in the news. It could be that maybe you've had loved ones pass on, and if that's so, I'm really, really sorry. But life is brief and bright and beautiful. And so it's time to let go of all the judgments, even of self-judgment, okay? The next one that jumped out for you. Clock time, pressure, and a rush. It reminds me of that. I'm late. What the hell is? But the clock time, number 14, again, a vibration, number 5. Here we have it again. Feeling like you are pressed for time, needing to change, and so many changes, it gets overwhelming. All must have prizes, trying to please everyone. So the need to please everyone around you while you're undergoing these deep changes are really going to tear you apart. That's not going to work. Some things do need to die and fall away. Other people's perception of you is not your responsibility to meet that anymore, okay? I feel like you're gonna come into your own. If you've been expected to be the breadwinner, if you've been expected to be the caretaker, the one that listens all the time, the one that never gets angry, the one that people always come to dump their problems in to resolve things, the one that takes care of all the finances, the one that buys all the groceries, whatever the case may be. If you've been that person who really lived up to expectations because they were there and that's what you felt you needed to do, I feel like all of that is going to be falling away as you embrace yourself more, okay, and new experiences. You can't go back to yesterday. Be in the present. It's going to be really important to embrace animal spirit right now, to even be able to get downloads and see what it is that you can see with your third eye, not with your 2 eyes, especially not through TV. But we can't go back to what things were like 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. It's going to be important to be present in the now and understand the situation for what it is. But even getting an eagle's eye is going to really help you. That even looks like an owl. I wonder if that's an owl. I'm not really sure. But observing, I feel like going within yourself and being open to new experiences. Maybe you're meditating for the first time. Maybe you're trying Shilajit for the first time, exploring crystals, things that you never thought you would be doing, or speaking to people and connecting and resonating differently. And you're like, I can't even understand how I'm connecting with that person. Now you can shut that down because it's not your typical MO. But you can also just open it and allow things to be with a trust and an innocence of a newfound child, and allow the blessings that come with it, okay? And the last jumper that we got for you, manage to be glad. Create your own happiness regardless of conditions. So the world is crazy right now. We might even be like in our own stink, metaphorically, right? We might be in a funk. We might be feeling a certain way. A lot of things could be happening around us that have us in our feels, in our head, feeling a lot of fear. 4, 5, 6, 7. It's time to connect more with spirituality, and even just expressing, to spirit, to God, to higher power, whomever, and just say, you know what, I'm feeling a certain way this morning. Personally, I was like really angry. I had a lot of anger feelings, and I was meditating, trying to pray my way through it. And actually these cards called me out on it because it even talked about don't act when you're angry. So I thought that was impressive. Moving on, it's going to be really important for you not to run away from things that are stinky, okay? The things that you don't like, the things that, for example, if you're under a lockdown, if you're under a quarantine, if you're under an isolation, if you're under, well, you need to do this in order to live your life, things like that. Under those rules, there's got to be something that you can find out to manage your own happiness, regardless of the conditions around you. Even people in prison manage to find a way to be happy. Not that we are acquiescing, is that the word? Or giving into what we are given, but it's a good way just to remind ourselves to be glad in the moment and open up the spirit for more deeper insight, I'm gonna say, okay? Gratitude will open up a different world for you. It will open up that sacral chakra, help you feel pleasure of everything, of just spending time with loved ones, of a nice meal, of hearing someone's voice that you love on the other side of the phone, a real phone call, of even sending or receiving a beautiful text that warms your heart, anything like that, okay? Cancer, what do we have for the month of January? Let's find out. Deep replenishment. You have a deep need for replenishing. Retreat, rest, and be held. But also, I feel like I'm having a problem with my throat chakra. I feel like you're not heard. I feel like you need, this should be reworded. Retreat, rest, and be heard. So be held is great. Some of us don't have that option. So I can hug myself like in the old school 80s movies. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. It's kind of funny. All right, moving on. What else do we have for Cancer for the month of January? Let's find out. Okay, another jumper. Soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. This jumped out upside down. I feel like you are feeling like you're not surrounded by your soul family. People don't understand you, and that's perhaps why you are on a quest. Why vibrationally you are forgetting who you are. It's like, no, those are my people. They're people that all have nice bags and beautiful shoes and go to the mall and do this and that and have beautiful lawns and all of this stuff in a gorgeous home. And while those things within itself, they're not bad, you're finding you don't resonate with those people anymore, or the people that want to sit around and gossip and throw darts at other people and want to make a mockery of other people's lives or enjoy tearing people down. And maybe once upon a time you were part of that crowd as well. And I'm talking about mature people. I'm talking about, quote, mature people, friends, family, things like that. That could be a great pastime for some people. I know in my family personally, that was a pastime. We would sit, my grandparents and excuse me, in a rocking chair, rocking chairs, I'm not kidding you, on a little, what do they call it? Like where you have the entrance of your home, but there's like a slab of an area, like a pre-entrance to your house, a balcony. God, that was hard. You're welcome. And we would sit there in rocking chairs and watch the cars go up and down because it was Puerto Rico and it's a tiny town and everybody knows everybody. Then they would just go, ooh, look who's driving with who. Ooh, what's that about? And oh, look at that. And why are they wearing that? Because you can actually see from the standpoint or the sitting point where we're sitting, what people are wearing as they drove by. And so it appeared to be great amusement and delight to my grandparents, especially. Yeah, I love my grandparents. I love my grandmother, but it was just really painful for me to hear negative words spoken about my friends that way that drove by. There were people that I spent time at school with that I loved dearly. And to hear that really hurt my heart. And in fact, now I have a lot of constriction in my heart chakra just thinking about it. And so I feel like you're not going to resonate with those things any longer. And it's going to throw you off a little bit. But just keep an open heart and just see what resonates. And go, yeah, that resonates with me. And don't chalk it up to so much, oh, this is what my tribe looks like. Well, they look like a bunch of hippies now, or they look like a bunch of crystal lovers. I heard for some of you guys, a bunch of crystal lover fuckers. So, pardon my French, but that's what I heard. It could be something completely different than your family would ever expect. And there could be like personal tearing down with that as well. Feeling like you don't meet those expectations, that cookie cutter any longer. You don't resonate with those anymore. And people are wondering what is up with you. Now, people could be accusing you also of having like a mental crisis or a mental breakdown. That is not the case. I would just say you do you and continue seeking out your soul tribe. We, my friend, are out here for you, okay? So just connecting, even leaving a comment, even supporting each other's in a comment. Nobody does on my channel, but I'm still pretty new. I'm here to support you if no one else is. I don't really give a crap what other people are doing. I'm only responsible for my own actions. And so, Cancer, much love to you, much support to you. You have a vibe tribe, a tribe that resonates with you on a deep core level, okay? So don't forget that. Yeah, the Great Gathering, it's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. The more you break out of the cookie cutter, out of the matrix, you're going to find more people that you can gather with, whether it's geographical, physical gatherings, or simply phone calls, or forums, or groups, whatever, okay? You're going to find your soul tribe. It is coming together. Go with your intuition. I can never say this word, Pleiades. Double mission, channeling, and uplifting humanity. A lot of people have gotten this card. It's going to be a great time for you even to use selenite as incredibly powerful cleansing stone. Crystal, if you will, to really be able to help you ascend, to be able to feel like you're connecting. You might even feel what that feels like, by the way, Cancer, is like little things crawling on the top of your crown chakra. It's almost like somebody's touching your head so very lightly, but you feel it persistently, almost like a tingle. It could be half of your head that feels that way, or the whole top of your head, or a certain area. That's what that feels like, just so you know. What else do we need to know for Cancer for the month of January? Show me now. The Akasha records. Your guidance is divinely guided. And just know that where you walk, sorry about the camera shake, where you walk, how you walk is, well, it's divinely guided. So know that even now, if you're going through the dark night of the soul, you're feeling like there's nothing there. You're feeling like you have to walk uphill only to get to a bunch of sand or ice that is woven. I don't really know what this is. It looks like snow, or it looks like barren lands. Regardless of what it is, there's like this texture of sand, like the sands of time. Maybe you feel like you're walking through the sands of time through your Akashic records. Maybe you're starting to gain a little bit of knowledge and wisdom. A connection to Egypt could be present as well at this point in time. The Eye of Horus, of course, is something that I've been talking about today. Spirits led me to, so here we are. And that could be your pineal gland. So you could be thinking about how to decalcify, staying away from fluoride, really getting connected to Mother Earth, to Spirit, getting your own downloads. It's going to be really important at this time, okay? So you are leaving behind that which is gray, has no life left, no color left for you, no joy, no excitement for you, and you're moving on to that is vibrant and beautiful and quite mysterious because it's new. But the Akashic Records is said to hold all of our lifetimes and yeah, all the memories of all of our lifetimes. So that would be something if you feel led. Cancer, a final message for you. And we're going to go ahead and pull from the Threads of Faith. What do we have for Cancer? Oh, here we are. It's a paradox. So I feel like you're going to be thinking everything is a paradox. Maybe even your life is a paradox at this point in time. Sacred geometry could be really important for you right now. Metatron, I heard Metatron for some of you. For others of you, you're examining and exploring the circle of life, okay? And just really understanding, even possibly exploring things like we have been here before, or everything goes in a cycle and what is going on globally. is something that is not new and divinely thought of like this minute. This has been happening for ages. Some of you guys, again, going through Dark Night of the Soul, awakening to what is going on with the world, with the elites, with how they have a love for oppression and how there is a purge. I mean, we've been told throughout movies and things like that. If you're curious, you could just start looking up different movies like Don't Look Up and things like that. And that just really kind of course, you go back to the older movies, tells you what is currently happening within, you know, our lifetime. I mean, it's just crazy, but that's just for some of you who choose to awaken, who choose to ascend. If you're confused about the world today, then I feel like that has a lot to do with things, and sacred geometry just might be your key to help you. If you think I'm talking gibberish, I respect that as well. I feel like you're going to feel different not too long from now. Okay, very last message for my Cancer. Show me now. Sagittarius. Lucky, freedom, exploration, traveling, risk taker, open-minded, optimistic, adventurous, outspoken, blunt, and tactless. So these could be all the things that are in store for you. Maybe you're taking some risks. You're wanting freedom to do some exploration, some traveling, meeting your soul tribe, feeling like you don't have a soul tribe. Maybe you feel like you are entering a phase where you are risk-taking, but it is actually more about being open-minded, about giving people a chance, being optimistic and adventurous, and even being outspoken and blunt with the people in your current circle that feel like they know you, but you don't resonate any longer. It might not be a bad idea for you even to buy a small lottery ticket, gamble responsibly. I'm not a gambler personally, but a scratch or two can't really hurt, right? So if that's your thing, and if you win, do make a comment on my channel. That would be really cool. But anyways, for the rest of you guys, I hope you have a great January. If you like my reading, please just smash that like button, like, share, comment, subscribe. Much love to you. Namaste.